Welcome back to the potting shed. Today I want to share with you one of my more recent purchases just over my shoulder. My majestic, mature jade bonsai tree, the Portulacaria Afra. I didn't plan to buy this actually, it was a bit of a spontaneous purchase. I was at my local garden centre and there it was, and I couldn't walk past it. It wasn't a bad price actually compared to one that I had bought earlier on in the summer. I thought, no, I've got to have it. With the thin excuse that I could make a video about it for you guys. So this is the video that justifies my purchase. So let's take a closer look. I'm doing things a little bit differently on the potting bench today, as you might see, just to try and get a little bit more detail on the tree. I put a backdrop in front of the window, and let me know whether it helps you see the plant a bit better. But anyway, let's have a look. There we are. I don't know if the backdrop is helping. I think it is. Let me know what you think in the comments. Maybe a different colour might help as well. As you can see, it's quite a sizable specimen next to my hand, next to my bonsai shears. I'd say this is reasonably old, although these jade bonsai do grow quite quickly. I would say there's at least 10 years worth of growth there. And as you can see, the branch structure is kind of all over the place. It's been growing very well, obviously, over this summer, and there is a lot of very straight up and down growth that we need to tackle. But this is why I thought it would make an interesting project, because we can actually learn a little bit about branch refinement and ramification when we go through this. So if you're just starting out on a jade bonsai journey, then this may be of help to you. Now, it is worth saying, in the UK here, we're just going into our winter, so this will be inside and won't have the best light, and certainly it will be in a centrally heated room, so it's probably going to be pretty much dormant over the winter months. So I don't want to do anything too drastic with it right now, because it really isn't the best time of year. It's not going to be actively growing back, or I would be surprised. But there are a few branches that just, don't need to be there and don't really need to actively grow back. So I shall be taking a few branches off, and we'll talk about, whilst we're doing that, the concept of ramification and the idea of pruning for shape and pruning for branch structure. So for those of you that are a little bit further on with your jade bonsai, I think this is going to be a helpful one for you. If you're just getting started, then you can refer back to this video a little bit later on maybe, but it's all interesting stuff to go over anyway. So let's zoom in a little bit more and we'll see if we can pick out some of the branches. I don't know if you can see this one. It's growing straight out at the camera. Very straight, and this is the natural habit of Portulacaria. It naturally wants to either go straight up or straight out, and so what we need to do is prune the branches to get the desired look and shape of a mature tree, and just letting it do its own thing isn't really an option, because these branches definitely don't look like a mature tree. We've got the essential structure of the tree, and we've got some sort of apex going on here as well, and there are a few reasonably mature branches in there. So we've got the structure, which is great, because as I say, that's 10 years worth of growth on its own. So what we can do now is have fun playing with creating the branches, then creating the pads, getting the negative space in between the leaves, and creating the overall shape and pattern, which is the fun bit. So the general rules of what we call ramification, which is simply creating a fine branch structure that imitates a mature tree. That's all it means really. You have a primary branch, you have a secondary and a tertiary branch. And so, for example, you have one here. I hope you can see it. This big thick one is your primary branch. Then when you cut the end of the big thick branch, there's so many here, I don't know if you can see it, it will then fork again, and you will get the secondary branches. And then if you were to cut these branches, you would have the tertiary structure. And you keep doing that as you go along to create the general shape. And when we're creating these branch structures, as a general rule, things like branches growing dead straight and straight at you, or straight up or straight down, like this one's going straight down, this one's going straight up, this coming straight out. These are all things that you won't see in nature with a mature tree. So these are easy ones to prune back. And as I say, I'm not going to go mad with this just now, purely because we're not going to get the active growth on this tree at this time of year. But a few of these branches I'm just simply going to take out because they're not appropriate. I'll certainly bring back to immediately improve the shape of the tree. So this one straight away that's coming straight at us in a dead straight is of no use really at all. So I'm just going to take this all the way off. It's also close enough in that really it's probably not going to make a useful branch anyway, even if I bring it back. So I'm just going to take it off completely. And now we have a really nice straight cutting that I can leave to dry out for a few days, and this will make a great starter cutting for a new tree. So that will go to one side, nothing's wasted. This one here again going straight down, not really what we want. But another nice cutting. These ones down here, these kind of little suckers, are probably, we're not going to keep those because they're a bit too low down. But at the moment they're generating energy and moisture lower down in the trunk, which isn't a bad thing right now. So although in time I will take them out, at the moment they're serving a purpose of directing the energy towards the bottom of the tree, which is no bad thing at the moment. If anything, it's going to help swell the bottom of the tree, which will help create the thickness at the bottom, again create the aged look and the sort of taper that we want. So they can stay there for now. Once again, this one here, which is crowding everything out and stopping you from seeing everything, is just one really long straight branch that's actually from all the way up there, and it's just coming down over everything. So we'll deal with him as well, which should open things up. Let's have a look. Now normally I try and prune branches back to the last or second set of leaves ideally, but this one has already gone very leggy, so I'm going to bring this right back, and that is past the last set of leaves. So you can see the last set of leaves was here. That's the last set of leaves technically, but yeah, there was already this long piece as well, which is not desirable. So once again, a really nice cutting to create a new tree with. As you can see, this one here, I hope you can, just great big long lengths from this bit here. This is where this branch was cut, and so it's forked and had two, but it's just been left to grow out far too far. So once again, I don't even know whether I'm going to keep that branch, but for now I'm not going to go too mad. As I said, I will just trim them back for now, just to add a little bit more space for everything. As you can see, that's the branch coming down there. It might be one that we keep. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't like to make any decisions too quickly. I like to spend time with the tree and really kind of work out a plan for the tree, which I don't have yet. I'm simply taking the glaringly obvious ones out that serve no purpose for anyone at the moment. That's the key. I don't want to get drawn into too much here because, like I said, it's not going to be growing, so we don't want to weaken the plant just too much at the moment. So this one again, that I'm holding here. Hopefully it's focusing. I have no idea at the moment. But this one here is just growing completely in the wrong direction and completely sideways, again, in an totally unnatural way. So that will probably be completely taken off in time. But I'll just snip that off for now. So as you can see already, we've opened that branch up and we can see it a lot better. So we've got the beginnings of some sort of branch that we can either move down. We're probably going to shorten it a lot as well, bring it into about here. But for the moment, starting to get some sort of pattern and shape that is more desirable. This one here as well is not a great branch at all. It's coming straight out. It's not that straight, but it's coming directly at the viewer, which is not much use. This branch behind is also growing straight up, and that one may as well come off. It's got no leaves anyway at the moment, so that can come off. Now we can probably get away with bringing that down and to the side, which makes it a lot better visually, but it's not great that it's pointing straight out. But we'll see. If we can get another branch to grow further down behind it, then we will remove that branch completely. But if not, there's not enough branches on this side, so that will have to be the one. Not ideal, but we can certainly make a better job of it. So let's bring that back a little bit as well. Again, it'll be interesting to see whether any leaves do grow over the winter. I would say probably not, or if they do, it will be very slowly. It's just we won't have the light and certainly won't have the sun baking on it, which these plants really appreciate to get them growing strongly. I said I need to resist getting into this too much and just take the glaringly obvious ones out, but already it looks a lot better. Let's zoom out. As you can see, the upper ones are very long and straggly, so we'll take them out. Let's have a look here. See, this one is, can you see this one? Is very straight and coming out, but it's nearly to the side and is actually at a potentially advantageous position. So I'm going to let that grow as long as it wants, because we can wire that and put it where we want it later, and it's not a bad position. And even if it grows straight, it will thicken as it grows, and then we can shape it how we want it as and when. So that's fine, that can stay. That's another one. This one looks like a useful branch that is usefully placed, so that will grow nicely. So we'll leave that. This one, oops. Yeah, there's a lot of very thick growth in here that we don't need. So I'm just going to take a few away for the moment. This one again, these two basically are far too strong and straight and in the wrong position. So we will, for now, we will just shorten them, but they will probably be taken out completely, I imagine. But they do have leaves all the way down. So just a few more and I think we're done. There we go. I think that will do for now. Like I said, we're not really pruning too much for shape now. Just in my mind, I was just going to take a few branches off. I've taken quite a few off. There's quite a lot, but these will all make really nice jade bonsai cuttings, so they will all be rooted in the next few days, so they won't go to waste. And this one I think is a little bit neater because of it. And next summer, as this comes outside again and gets to bask in the sunlight, we'll get this growing strongly, and we can really start pruning back some of the leaves more deeply and kind of work out what we're going to keep long term and what we're going to do with it. Probably repot it, put it in some slightly better soil, as it's in the coir that it comes in from the grower, which is okay, but it can be a lot better. So I'll use my bonsai soil on that, and yeah, we'll see how we go. It's also leaning back a little bit as well, so I might bring it forward in the pot when I repot it a little bit and do some branch wiring. But yeah, for now I think that'll do. Let me just reduce that one there because it's looking a bit. Thing is, I could keep going and going. I have to be careful. It's addictive. But for now, that will do. Maybe just that one. Right, stop, Andy. So that's some initial branch pruning and some thoughts on ramification. We've got quite a few more videos to make, and so make sure, if you're interested in growing a jade bonsai, be sure to subscribe to get notified when the next jade bonsai video comes out. Please give this a thumbs up if you found it useful. I'd appreciate that. And until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on another video. Bye for now.